Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're going to break down what we saw in D'Angelo Russell's Brooklyn Nets debut. Obviously, the return in a game that they did fall 113 to 130 to the 8-26 Raptors, now falling 12-21 on the year. They have the 12th best conference standings, or they're 12th in the conference standings. Either way, we all know it's a tank. So let's get right into it and let's talk about it. D'Angelo Russell made a strong impression in his return to Brooklyn, as he dropped 22 points and was able to look like a table setter, a facilitator, had 8 assists, almost shot 70% from the field. And this is after the Lakers had traded D'Angelo Russell and Maxwell Lewis. We saw a little bit of Maxwell Lewis in garbage time, but not much to really see there. But Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton were traded to the Lakers. And Russell comes back here and he showcased that he's able to create offense for himself and his teammates, providing a glimpse of what he can offer to the rebuilding Nets under the guidance of first-year head coach Jordi Fernandez. And he's a guy that general manager Sean Marks is acquainted with, was a guy that he had originally traded for in the original deal that, what was it? I'm blanking on, was it the Brook Lopez deal that originally sent him from, it was Brook Lopez or Timothy Mozgov, either or, that landed D'Lo in the Nets, and then he became an all-star there. So his performance tonight raises an important question about his fit with this team that's tanking, and how does he fit in Jordi Fernandez's coaching philosophy? Because the Nets are sitting 12-21, 12 in the Eastern Conference, and they're clearly in the developmental phase. They're tearing apart the team to rebuild. And the team ranks last in points per game at 107.8 coming into tonight, and the rebounds per game of 39.2 is also worse in the league. And they're struggling is they continue to disassemble this team. However, despite this challenges, I think bringing a guy like D'Angelo Russell, he's going to have a veteran presence. He'll be able to orchestrate the offense. They actually have a point guard now after trading Dennis Schroeder. So replacing Dennis Schroeder with D'Lo, a guy that actually can table set and allow these young players not to have to be forced to create for themselves and be turnover prone when they have someone who can orchestrate and table set the offense for them. And he comes in tonight averaging 12.7 points, 4.8 assists after tonight's game. And he's actually had a solid plus 1.6 plus minus box score, which is showing that he's been able to positively be a efficient player on the floor, even though he hasn't had the best season this year under JJ Redick now with the Nets. Now, I think in his debut performance, it's kind of showing his capacity of being the focal point for the offense for the rest of the year, with the Nets ranked 22nd in field goal percentage with 45.2% being their field goal percentage, and they're lacking a reliable scoring option outside of Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson, who both might be traded by the end of the deadline, or at least one of them will. So having a guy like D'Angelo Russell showcase his efficiency, showcase his shot creation as much needed assets for a team that needs someone to generate their own offense. And as seen in his debut, I think he can elevate a team that ranked 28th in offensive rebounding and struggles to create second chance opportunities, as even if they continue to be limited on those second chance opportunities, they have someone who's going to be able to score. Now, I think the biggest question is if they do keep him, if they don't trade him, because they said they're not going to buy him out. And it seems like if they don't flip him for in another deal, which I don't think is going to happen unless some team's desperate, I think they keep him, running out the season. And if they are kumbaya, he might re-sign there on a deal and just try to rebuild his value. As I think under rookie head coach Jordi Fernandez, we've seen that a team that emphasizes ball movement and defensive effort, aligning with Sean Marks' vision of a modern team-oriented system. While D'Angelo Russell is not known for his defensive prowess, I think his playmaking complements Jordi Fernandez's philosophy, and him almost averaging 5 assists per game in those limited minutes are going to be something that's going to be helpful for a Nets team that's currently ranked 18th in assists per game with 25 as a team. So as we saw evident tonight, Russell's passing ability combined with his knack for hitting clutch shots and just being able to be a guy who can facilitate and execute the schemes that Jordi Fernandez wants his offense to run. And I think the biggest challenge for Jordi Fernandez will be integrating D'Angelo Russell's skill set into a young roster while maintaining development as a priority. Yes, Cam Thomas, who's almost averaging 25 points, and Cam Johnson's a 20 point per game score, could remain on the roster, could both be traded, or one of them could stay there, and one of them could end up being a cornerstone. And I think D'Angelo Russell's role maybe transitioning from being this primary scorer in this year and next year to maybe even being like the table setter as this stabilizing veteran presence. He could be the guy who mentors younger player while providing offensive bursts for Jordi Fernandez, who probably looks for a more well-balanced approach as we continue with the season. And I think Russell's current contract situation adds some intrigue that the Nets have stated that they will not buy him out, suggesting that they see value in either retaining him for the rest of the season and as a low-cost re-signing option in the offseason. If Russell maintains his current level of play, he could become a reclamation project for the Nets, similar to his first stint with the Nets, where he became a first-time All-Star selection. His efficiency from the free throw line of almost 86% and his playmaking ability and shooting just show him as a complementary piece on the offensive side of the ball at the very least. And given that the Nets' commitment to this rebuild, D'Angelo Russell could also become a trade asset as we get closer to the deadline, which is about like 5-6 weeks away. Yes, his shooting is below league average at 33%, but we know he's better. He can get hot at any second, and his ability to generate offense in a structured system or even just as a microwave off the bench could be appealing to a playoff contender or a team that loses their point guard. I think, however, if he remains with Brooklyn, his veteran leadership and the ability to rebuild his value could be pivotal in stabilizing a team navigating through a challenging season and through the next few years, especially if they draft a Cooper Flag. He could be someone who could facilitate for Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey. Now, D'Angelo Russell's, I think, debut just provided this much needed spark for the Nets, as if you guys didn't watch the Nets were a team tonight playing with only Nick Claxton, Keon Johnson, who dropped 17 points, Nick Drex dropped 16, and Cam had 24. By the way, former high school teammate Ben Simmons had 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists. Jalen Wilson had 10 and 11 from Duron Sharp. But outside of that, Cam Thomas is still out. So I think just having a guy like that, with the Brooklyn being committed to this rebuild, I think Russell's value lies in his ability to bridge the gap between veteran stability and helping foster development amongst these young players. And if he can earn Jordi Fernandez trust, and it seems he has Sean Marks's, I think Russell has the opportunity to revitalize his career and prove he's a worthy, at least as a leader to this team, searching for an identity. Whether the Nets choose to retain him or use him as a trade piece, or he blows up and gets a big deal, I think D'Angelo Russell's contributions to this team is going to help, shape the direction of this rebuilding franchise, if it's going to be an easy road, if it's not. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this? And yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And my thoughts is, what would you even trade him for at this point? The only team I really see is maybe the Orlando Magic, being a team that could be desperate enough to go out there and get somebody. But outside of that, I don't see anybody else really. As I said it before, the team that's been able to make lemonade out of these lemons are the Brooklyn Nets. So why not? That's it. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see more content like that, like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. Go check out hoopshype.com. I'm done. I hope you guys enjoy. We just wanted to make sure that we got to the 8-minute marker, which we did. So ciao.